If you are finally ready to start having better relationships and make more money, Venus is finally going to be entering the sign of Taurus on June 6th. The significance that Venus is going to transit into this sign is that Venus is at home in the sign of Taurus. And this is going to bring a huge emphasis in our society on luxurious things. People might start working more on their beauty, but more in the sense of doing their makeup in a different way or dressing a different way in order to appear more luxurious. Taurus energy is all about earthly comforts. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, which makes it very much focused on luxury. It loves luxurious things. It loves feeling comfortable. Taurus energy also really likes food and just very sensual things. When Venus enters the sign of Taurus, we are going to start to see a shift in our society towards more food and luxury things. You yourself might find that you start focusing more on like cooking, eating better food, dressing more comfortably, and just like more luxuriously. You might start wearing like really comfortable clothing, or you might start wearing things that are just really earthy but make you feel like really attractive as well. Something is going to shift in your life where you're going to start wearing like more comfortable things and you're going to start feeling a lot happier in doing so. There's going to be this shift where you might also have a great business idea or like a new idea with a side hustle in order to increase your finances. Taurus energy specifically is very focused on money. It's very focused on generating wealth. Taurus rules over the second house in astrology, and that's all about your own personal earning power. It's all about your money. It's all about the money that you generate for yourself. So you might find that after June 6th is a really great time to finally start that side hustle or start that business. You might also have an idea to start like a product line or something of that nature in order to really boost your finances. If you've had a business idea throughout the past few years, now when Venus is in Taurus might be a really great time for you to do it, especially if it has anything to do with food or just like luxury items. If you wanted to sell like really nice fabrics or like really nice clothing, this is now the time to launch that project. Another thing to pay attention to during the Venus and Taurus transit is that we will also have Jupiter in Cancer making a sextile to it. So it's gonna bring more emphasis in your life on women and also really making your home life a little bit better as well. The Venus and Taurus transit that we're gonna have from June 6th all the way through July 4th, you might find that there's gonna be an emphasis on your home life in some way, especially because Taurus energy is all about being comfortable at home. You might find that because Jupiter is in Cancer making a perfect sextile to it, it's gonna expand upon this. So now is also a really great time to purchase a home, to switch homes, to change apartments, buy your first house, or even start saving to buy your first house. Because Cancer energy, while it's very associated with like femininity and nurturing, it also has a lot to do with the place where we live. And it also has a lot to do with our emotions as well, and where we live and how it really makes us happy. You might find yourself kind of looking around in your surroundings and being like, oh, I kind of want this kind of environment instead, so I am happier. You could start to have those thoughts and ideas starting around June 6th through June 10th when Jupiter enters the sign of Cancer on June 10th. So really around that time, you might start having this different thought pattern where you're like, I kind of want to change around my like living environment or like change the location where you live in order to make yourself happier. You might also find, again, now is a really great time to start saving for a home or like changing your apartment. You might find that like something in your life like that could happen as well. There's going to be some sort of like positive thing that's going to happen to you as it relates to your home life, simply because we are going to have Jupiter in the sign of Cancer at the same time as we are going to have Venus in the sign of Taurus. So it's going to be like more of a positive aspect towards home life as well. Because of those two signs are also going to be sextile, Jupiter is going to make it very, very positive. All of the things and thoughts that you have during the Venus and Taurus transit will most likely be very positive. Anything that you start during the Venus and Taurus transit is going to be very lucky due to its sextile to Jupiter in Cancer. And you might find that like very positive things happen to you as well. Again, especially after June 10th will be a great time to start saving for a new home, start your business, start making new connections with people, because when Venus is in the sign of Taurus, you might find that you might be more likely to make new friends and just expand your social circle as well. So it will make your like love life better. You might find that your love life improves during the Venus and Taurus transit. and your emotions are heightened in a very positive way. Like your emotions might take on more of a positive tonality during the Venus and Taurus transit. And again, especially because Jupiter in Cancer is going to be sextile to it, you might find that your emotions get heightened in more of a positive way. You could also find that you are happier, especially after June 10th, and you'll see like more positive things happening in our world, and especially with our home life as well. I know back in like January and February, we had a lot of very intense things happening, especially because we had Mars retrograde in the sign of Cancer. However, when Jupiter enters the sign of Cancer, it's going to be a little bit different. Mars doesn't do super well in the sign of Cancer. It's debilitated there, and we saw a lot of like very intense stuff happening with our home life. However, when Jupiter enters the sign of Cancer, it's going to be a lot more positive. Like positive things are going to start to happen in our home life. You yourself might also find, like, especially because it's going to be sextile to Venus and Taurus energy and Cancer energy get along really, really well. It's going to be just like a positive shift in your home life. And again, Taurus energy is very associated with houses, buildings, structures. Now is also a really great time to start a real estate career. If you've ever had that type of inclination, now is like an amazing time. Like if you've ever wanted to invest in real estate in any way, now is a really great time to do it, simply because of the transits. Anytime between like June 6th and July 4th, that's going to be an amazing time to start like your real estate mogul career if you were ever inclined to do that. It's just a really great transit to do it under, especially again because Jupiter is going to be in the sign of Cancer, making a sextile to Venus and Taurus. Anything that goes hand in hand with like real estate, home life is going to be really, really positive. Another thing that's going to be happening during the Venus and Taurus transit is that Mars is going to be entering the sign of Virgo starting on June 17th, and this is going to make a trine to Venus and Taurus, and those two energies get along really, really well. They're both earth signs, so Mars being in the sign of Virgo and Venus in the sign of Taurus is going to have you be very detailed in your approach to whatever you do. You might also find that you become a better communicator as well during this time, especially in late June. You could find that you're going to become more detail oriented with your approach to relationships, any legal contracts that you have to sign. Again, if you decide to change homes or move homes or even start a career in real estate, which is a really great time to do this, by the way, or if you want to become a real estate mogul, now is a really great time to do it as well. But you're going to start really seeing through the details of things, and you might also find that your relationships become more positive during this time as well, especially because Venus being at home in the sign of Taurus, you could find that more relationships enter your life and you get more of like a warm, fuzzy feeling from this as well. And Mars making a trine to it in the sign of Virgo will indicate that you'll have really good communications with these new people who enter your life. So it'll be very, very different. So I'm going to go ahead and go through all the rising signs, but check your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a full sense of how the Venus and Taurus transit will affect you. If you're an Aries rising, this is going to be a very positive transit for you. Venus is going to be transiting through your second house of personal earning power, personal resources, the things that you do in order to make money. So it's very likely, Aries rising, that you could enter a new period of your life where you are going to be making more money. The fact that it's going to be Venus transiting your second house will indicate that this is like a very, very positive transit to get that raise at work, to start that side hustle, to get a random bonus at work. Something that has to do with money will happen in your life and it'll be very, very positive. You could also find that you begin to just simply make more money for doing the same amount of work. Like something very positive will happen with your financial life. You might find that a new positive connection enters your life and all of a sudden your finances get increased to the max. Like maybe this new connection that enters your life starts giving you an opportunity for a side hustle, and that could allow you to increase your finances. You might also find that you could have some sort of connection with somebody who begins to help you just open new doors to different avenues for your business. Like if you decide to start your own business during this time, Aries rising, something positive will happen for you. And you might also make like a business connection or like a business partner who will help you do this as well. If you've had a business for a long time, Aries rising, now is a really great time to kind of see that like doors will begin to open for you and you could make more sales during this time. You could see, if you're a content creator, you could see your videos do really, really well. If if you're a salesperson or if you are a real estate agent, which is also really positive for Aries risings who are also real estate agents, the next 2 months for you will be very positive. You could make more sales. Something like good is going to happen for you, Aries rising, as it relates to your finances specifically, but not just your finances, it's like your own earning power. So this will be more along the lines of, again, bonuses at work, raises at work, making more sales. If you work on commission, you might make more commission. If you're a real estate agent, you might sell more houses during this time as well, especially because Jupiter will be in the sign of Cancer. Now is like a really positive transit for Aries risings who are real estate agents. So something positive is going to happen for you, Aries rising, throughout the next 2 months as it relates to your finances, and also any new potential business partners who enter your life as well. If you're a Taurus rising, the Venus in Taurus transit is going to affect you very positively. You might go through a major glow up throughout the next 2 months that will affect your appearance in a very positive way. And it might not be so much you going to the gym all the time or like hustling and like working out and like trying to like run a marathon and lift weights and stuff like that. Instead, it's more like you're gonna go through a major glow up and you won't really be doing much. It'll be like you're gonna change your hair in some way or just buy a different wardrobe or change your makeup, and other people are gonna find you really, really attractive. During this time, you might also find that you are more focused on beauty or like things that you find beautiful as well, and you might take more inspiration from them. You might take more like creative inspiration from people in the media and be like, oh, I should do this with my makeup, and then it gives you a major glow up over the next 2 months. It's not so much like changing anything other than like the way you present yourself, and it's going to have a major effect as well. And again, this new transit for you could be more like being intellectually stimulated by watching like makeup videos or like self-improvement videos. Something like that will happen for you, Taurus rising, that is really going to put you into a more positive position, which is going to cause you to majorly glow up. Like something is going to happen for you. And the other thing to mention for Taurus rising is the fact that you have Pluto going through your 10th house right now of Aquarius. So you might find that you've had some sort of change in your career since about December and January, and you could find yourself more and more in the spotlight. Again, maybe you're a content creator, maybe you work in the media in some way, maybe you're the face of your company, maybe you're a salesperson who is very, very visible. You could be somebody like that who has a lot of visibility right now in your career, and you might start to do things to kind of like look at yourself and then try to improve it as well. When Venus is transiting your first house of Taurus, again, you're going to find that it's going to be a positive glow up without you really doing too much. You might also find that something could just like happen behind the scenes spiritually. Other people just find you more attractive during this time as well without you really doing much. Again, you could be just kind of like sitting back and being chill, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my gosh, so-and-so is like really hot right now. It could be kind of like that type of energy, Taurus rising. Gemini rising, when Venus enters the sign of Taurus on June 6th, you might have kind of like a change in the way that you create. If you've had a lot of focus on your career and your creative projects, you could begin a brand new creative project that is kind of kept secret. Like you might start working on this creative project or like this new thing that is going to be kind of kept secret from everybody. Like you could start to want to work harder on like your social media presence or your visibility in some way, and you yourself could have kind of gone through a glow up and you could feel like you have more inspiration to kind of like create something, because like over the past year a lot of people could have been like, oh, this Gemini rising is like so hot right now, and it could have given you a really big confidence boost. Like something could have happened for you where other people could have found that you were really, really attractive, and so now you might be taking that in and kind of like analyzing everything, and you're like, okay, I want to start this creative project, but I don't want it to be super, super spotlight yet. I'm going to work on it and then I'm going to release it during the summer. You could have an idea like that. You might also begin some sort of new creative project where you start working on it and then you release it in the fall or something like that. You're going to find that like something positive will happen to you, or like, you know how like music artists will like work on a music video and then won't release it for like a few months later. That could also happen for you. Like that type of like energy you might find will be happening in that way, where it's like you're working on a creative project and not that many people know yet until you release it a few months later. Gemini rising, you might also find that after June 10th, whatever whatever project that you start now, you're going to have more luck with your finances. You might find that there's going to be a huge expansion on your finances as well. So this new creative project that you start could be kind of like the springboard and launching pad that's going to project you into this new chapter of your life where you're going to start making a lot more money, because when Jupiter goes through your second house, it's going to grow and expand on your earning power. You're going to be like making a lot more than you have before, than you have previously. And this new creative project that you start will allow you to really increase your own earning power substantially. Cancer Rising, when Venus enters the sign of Taurus on June 6th, you might find that you start getting invited to a lot more social events. A lot of people could enter your life who want to be like your best friend, and all of a sudden you could find that you start getting invited to very exclusive events. People could be reaching out to you via social media. You yourself might also find that you have more of a positive presence on social media during this time as well. Like something could happen in your life and something very positive could happen to you. Like again, maybe you get a lot of followers randomly, or maybe you randomly go very viral on social media. Something like that could happen to you where you have this focus on friend groups, going to concerts, or just like being around large groups of people, but then also like sharing your life on social media as well. And you're gonna find that something really positive is gonna happen for you around social media and also your friendship group. Like again, you could kind of be like around friends a lot. Like maybe you're going out and partying, maybe you're going to clubs, maybe you are going to concerts. And then when you post on social media, it could go viral all of the time. Like for the next 2 months, something like that is gonna happen for you, Cancer Rising. You might also find that now specifically, especially after June 10th, something's going to happen with your appearance where people are going to start to really recognize you for it. So this is the type of energy where you post photos and they go viral, like that type of energy, or you post a video of yourself and it goes viral. Cancer Rising is going to have that type of stuff going on, where it's going to be more like appearance based than anything else, where people just really like the way that you look. And the other thing that's going to be making this happen for you, Cancer Rising, is the fact that Saturn and Neptune are both in the sign of Aries, and they're going to be in your 10th house right now. So that's kind of like what's going to be happening for you at this point in time. So something like really positive will happen where people are going to be recognizing you for your beauty specifically, and you're going to have a lot of luck there, but you're going to have more focus on like social media and being in your friend group or like your social networks or the people who you have really close connections with. And again, now is like a really great time to post on social media, Cancer Rising, if you don't already do that, but just sharing your life, sharing photos of yourself, because you could get really widely recognized just for your looks. And you could even find that people view you as like the beauty standard. Like people really like the way you look right now. Leo Rising, when Venus enters the sign of Taurus, you are going to have a lot of luck with your career. During this transit, you could also get a major raise at work as well, because when Venus enters the sign of Taurus, it has a lot to do with our finances. If you are a salesperson in any way, shape, or form, you might find that you make a lot of sales. There's going to be a focus on your finances with your public image or like your career as well. So again, if you're a salesperson or make commission, something could be very possible in your future throughout the next 2 months where like you're making more commissions, but you're also getting recognized for it. And people are going to be like, wow, this Leo Rising just made a ton in sales. And then you could even win like an award for it or something, because Venus is the sign of like relationships and money, and Taurus is all about like money and luxury and things of that nature. And your 10th house is all about like your career and your aspirations and success. So it's most likely that you're going to be successful with your career as it relates to money. And you might also find that like something very positive is going to happen for you with like, again, like your relationships at work as well. And with Jupiter entering the sign of Cancer, it's also possible that you could be doing this by yourself. Like if you do anything as it relates to finances and earning more, you could be like 100% by yourself, like isolated, but then still achieving this in some way. You might also find that you begin getting more recognized for your creative projects in the spotlight and in the limelight. You might also find that you could enter a relationship with somebody that gets pushed into the spotlight in some way. If you start a relationship throughout the next 2 months, you could find that people begin talking about you and this person, and you might find that it kind of gets pushed into the spotlight. Like people will be talking about you and your significant other, or like the person who you are with at that time, kind of like if you were like the it couple. It's gonna be very much in the public eye, but if that happens, be sure to protect your energy, because Jupiter going through Cancer for you could have some like intense effects. So just be aware of that. But that is one way that this could manifest for you as well, with Venus in the sign of Taurus. However, you will have a lot of luck with money, especially if you work in like a sales position, or if you're a real estate agent, anything that you make commission for a company. Virgo Rising. When Venus enters the sign of Taurus on June 6th, you might find that you are going to be more focused on travel. You could start to get like opportunities from other people to travel different places, or you could get reached out to somebody who is like, do you want to go to my party across the country? Something like that might happen for you. During this time, you could also create more things around travel. Say if you're not physically traveling yourself, you might find that you could create like a travel project for somebody, and it will be more creative focused. The planet Venus is very associated with creativity as well. So you might find that you could start romanticizing like travel and creating things around it. Like, you know, those advertisements that are like travel to this country, that's most likely what could happen for you, Virgo Rising, during this time. You might also find that if you're in higher education or college, you could get recognized for like an art project that you do. Like if you're in college right now, you could win an award for like an art project, because that could potentially happen for you during this time period. Something positive will happen for you in the things that you create. You might also find that you could get an opportunity to create something for a college as well, or like a university. Like you could create like a social media page, or like create artwork or do photography for a college during this time. If you're a Virgo Rising and if you're a photographer, you could get commissioned by a college or a university to take photos for them. Or again, if you're an artist, you could get commissioned to do a sketch of a university or do some sort of drawing of one. That's also possible during this transit as well. If you are any sort of like artist or writer, you could find yourself creating things for a university. You could be designing textbook covers or something of that nature. And again, if you're in college right now, you could win something for something that you create for a college or a university. It's also possible, Virgo Rising, that you could make like really positive connections with people that could open doors for you that will allow this to happen. And if you share these things on social media, or like say if you win some sort of an award for like something that you create around travel or around like higher education, if you share that on social media, it'll be very well received and very positive, especially after June 10th. Libra Rising. When Venus enters the sign of Taurus on June 6th, you are going to have more of a focus on other people's resources. You might find yourself starting some sort of new business or some sort of project that will allow you to directly tap into other people's resources, that will allow them to support you in some way. Maybe you create some sort of business where you are selling items and people are purchasing them from you. Now is a really great time for Libra Risings to start a business. They've been working really hard since the beginning of this year, where they have been working on making a living off of their creativity with Pluto transiting their 5th house. However, when they have Venus entering their 8th house, they might receive a large lump sum of money unexpectedly. Again, if they start a business, people could be supporting them or sending them tips. They could also start something like a small business online where other people are actively sending them resources and their own personal earnings are going up. Something like that could happen for Libra Risings during this time period. And they might also find that whatever thing that they start during this time will be very tied to their public image, especially because Jupiter will be entering the sign of Cancer on the 10th. A lot of people could really see them in the spotlight during this time as well. Like maybe they're a content creator on social media, and then they launch a business like a clothing line, where then they are able to tap into other people's resources in order to make more money, basically. Because again, Venus transiting their 8th house is more of like a positive thing. The 8th house can be associated with some dark themes. However, having Venus, which is a more positive planet and more associated with our finances and relationships, it'll be more of a positive transit for Libra Rising, especially because they're going to be having Saturn transiting their 7th house of Aries and Jupiter transiting transiting their 10th house right now. So it's going to be like they're going to be pushed into the spotlight, and whatever project that they start, other people are going to be financially supporting them throughout the next 2 months, and it will help them reach the next level of their career. Again, they could start some sort of business online. They could start some sort of store or some sort of shop that will allow them to really increase their finances substantially. Scorpio Rising, when Venus enters the sign of Taurus on June 6th, you are going to have better relationships. For the past month or so, you've had a lot of changes in your relationships and a lot of stuff happening at work as well with like your coworkers and like your bosses. Like some like intense stuff has been happening for you, Scorpio Rising. However, when Venus enters the sign of Taurus, you're going to start attracting new relationships into your life and more allyships as well. More positive things are going to start to happen in your day-to-day life, and like good things are going to come your way as well. These new connections could open new doors for travel for you, or like give you opportunities to travel, most likely with work. Like you could go on like a major business trip with like somebody who opens a door for you, and you could be traveling like across the country as part of your job and going on multiple business trips. And you could find that again, with the increase in travel in your life, you could attract better relationships with new coworkers, new people and close connections that enter your life. Something really positive will happen for you as it pertains to your relationships. And even though you saw kind of some intensity in like May, something more positive is going to happen. Like you could have had a change in May with your relationships, and in June that happened, but now you're attracting more positive relationships into your life. Like something very positive will happen for you that will really allow you to, again, like learn more. You'll be able to travel. You might also find yourself like going around to different colleges as well. Like, you know, those people who like go to different colleges for scouting new college graduates for like their company. You could also do something like that too, because it's going to be very tied to like colleges and universities, and you're going to have more people enter your life, and it's going to be like more positive relationships, and they're going to see you a lot more positively, Scorpio Rising. Sagittarius Rising, when Venus enters the sign of Taurus on June 6th, you are going to have better relationships with your coworkers. Throughout the next 2 months, you might find that you start having better relationships with them. Like if you had been more focused on like your creativity, maybe you just started a new job doing something completely different. Maybe you're now like a social media person, or maybe you work in communications. You might find that now you're going to have better relationships with your coworkers. It's also possible that you could also get a major raise as well. Like something could happen for you where like you get a major raise at work. Again, Venus transiting your 6th house of Taurus is gonna bring in just more positivity and more luck with your relationships at work, especially your coworkers. And you might also again be getting a big raise as well. Taurus is so associated with luxury items and like food and things like that, but it also has a lot to do with our finances. You might also find yourself going to like after work happy hours, eating really good food as well. You're gonna have so much more positivity at work during these next 2 months for you. And you might also find that like it's gonna be more positive, and like more people are gonna enter your life who are gonna be new coworkers, and you're gonna be going to like happy hours and stuff, and like eating really nice food, and like drinking wine, and like doing really sensual Taurus things. That is gonna be coming up for you, Sagittarius Rising. It's also important to note that you could also find that more people are gonna want to help you with their resources as well. Again, you could get a major raise at work during this time, but at the same time, you could also find that other people want to support you with their resources. Like other people could be driving you around in cars. You could be spending the night at other people's houses. You could also find yourself, people are paying for your drinks. Like something's going to happen like that for you, Sagittarius Rising. And you might also find that you have really good intellectual connections with these people. It's going to be like, they're going to be really nice to you and help you out with their resources. And also you might also receive more gifts from them as well. Capricorn Rising, when Venus enters the sign of Taurus, you are going to be that person. You are going to be in your hot era. You are going to have that hot girl summer that you've always wanted to have, because when Venus enters the sign of Taurus, you are going to have more positivity with having fun, like going to concerts, going to bars, going to restaurants, going to different things, and like partying and having fun. You might also have more social get-togethers during this time as well. Like random people could start reaching out to you and be like, hey, do you want to go to my party type of deal? And then you go and you have a lot of fun fun. The other thing that's happening for you at the same time Venus is going to be transiting the sign of Taurus is the fact that Jupiter is also going to be in the sign of Cancer, which is your 7th house. So other people could find you like really hot during this time as well. Other people could be like thinking how attractive you are, and more people could start entering your life with the intention of getting into a long-term relationship for you. You might find that new doors of opportunity will open for you, Capricorn Rising, where you could meet the person who you will marry or get into a really long-term relationship with during this time. And you might find that so many potential partners enter your life as well. Again, like you could meet a new best friend and they start inviting you to fun things, and then you meet a marriage partner there, and then you eventually get married to one of those people. Like that could very well happen for you throughout the next 2 months. Like something positive is going to happen, and you're going to have a lot more fun as well. Like good things are going to happen to you in your life. You're going to be hot too. Like you're going to have people either wanting to be like your best friend, or they're going to be wanting to be your romantic partner. There's like no in between. Like that's what is in the cards for you, Capricorn Rising. And again, get ready to start having a lot more fun. You might also find yourself wanting to entertain people more, or like you could be put in the position where like because everybody thinks you're so attractive, they're like, we want you to entertain us. Like you do the talking and we just listen. Like that type of energy is coming for you, Capricorn Rising. Aquarius Rising, when Venus enters the sign of Taurus, you are going to be more focused on your home life, and you're also going to have more positive things happening with your home life as well. You might be a little bit more focused on your health and your wellness during this time. And you might also find that something has changed with your appearance as well that could cause you to want to take better care of your body and just like better care of yourself in general. Like something could have happened like in the past few months where there's been a change, especially with your appearance. And now you are seeking to take like better care of your body. And Venus entering the sign of Taurus is going to allow you to spend more time by yourself at home and really beautify your living environment. Like you might be changing your living environment in some way. You could be creating a new room in your house, or maybe you are spending more time at home and just like renovating things. It's also possible that during this transit, you could purchase a new home as well. Like maybe if you live in an apartment, maybe now is the time that you're going to be purchasing a home. That's very likely during this transit for you, Aquarius Rising, because Venus transiting your 4th house is going to really be very positive for you. Venus is a very positive planet. It's all about finances, resources. And again, Taurus is all about real estate. And the 4th house has a lot to do with real estate as well, because it's all about where we actually live, like our home life. So during this transit, you might save for a home, you might change homes, and you might also find yourself wanting to move somewhere bigger or more luxurious that can fit your new lifestyle with what you are planning to do in the day-to-day and like all of your lifestyle changes. You might also find that again, you are working on changing your appearance in some way with Pluto transiting your 1st house. And again, it might cause you to want to take better care of your body and also take better care of like the place where you live and like make your life feel a little bit better as well. Pisces Rising, when Venus enters the sign of Taurus on June 6th, you might find yourself posting a lot on social media. For you, Taurus is your 3rd house, and the 3rd house is very associated with thinking, the mind, communication, but it also has a lot to do with social media. And you are also at the same time going to have Jupiter in your 5th house of Cancer. And for you specifically, this is going to kind of translate into you creating things on like social media, or like creating new projects that will be shared with people. You might feel very creatively inspired during this transit, and you might start changing the way that you do things. You might again start posting more. You could start making more videos. You could start doing more creative photography as well and sharing that with people. It's going to be more focused on like your creative self, which you're very creative because you natally have Pisces energy, but it's like more focused on you actually tangibly creating things and sharing it with the world through a platform like social media. You might also find that the things you create during this time might be more focused on like thinking and communications as well. Like if you've ever wanted to start a podcast, now is the time to do it. Or if you've wanted to start like a page where you only talk, now is a really great time for you to do this, Pisces Rising, throughout the next 2 years. You might also find that during this time, you wanted to spend more time by yourself as well, because Pluto is currently transiting your 12th house of Aquarius. And while the 12th house has a lot of connotations about like very intense things, it also has a lot to do with like kind of being alone by yourself. So this could very much manifest like maybe you moved away from a highly populated area. And now you're more focused on kind of like creating things and creating art now that you're kind of like away from like the hustle of so many different people, and sharing it on a platform like social media where like you can really be yourself and share what you can create with other people. During this time, again, you could find yourself drawing or doing like watercolor and sharing it on social media platforms. You might find that you become very creatively inspired in like different ways. And again, you're very creative, but like you're gonna find that there's gonna be a huge expansion on your creativity and what you seek to create, and then sharing it through communications or sharing it with other people as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post new videos every single week.